documents. We will bring presenters to come and just give an overview of the presentations that they will have given to plenary. These presentations are expected to be deliberated upon tomorrow in commissions by the delegates attending this 6th National Policy Conference. So Comrade Thabang made the first presentation after credentials and the program of the conference were duly adopted by delegates. I'm now going to hand over to him to give you an overview. He had spoken to you before, so it will be easier for those of you who had followed that briefing we did in a form of a media dialogue. Over to you, Comrade Thabang.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pule, and to members of the media, thank you very much for the opportunity. The discussion paper I was asked to present to the policy conference is the paper on the changing balance of forces around our national project to transform South Africa into a national, democratic and prosperous society. The discussion on the balance of forces is what traditionally is part of occasions like this in the ANC, because it offers the organization to track the changes in relation to the strengths of the movement and its weaknesses, and to track the changes in relation to opportunities and threats against the organization's interests. And in today's discussion, we were looking at where we are now as against where we were almost 5 years ago when we were here in our national conference in 2017. Is the ANC stronger? Has it gone weaker? If it has strengthened, it has gone stronger. What has contributed to that? If it has weakened in its strength, what are the contributing factors? What are the threats that have emerged over the last 5 years, just about 5 years ago, and what are the opportunities that over the last, or since the last conference, have emerged for us to expedite transformation in our country? In that discussion, of course, we profiled the point that we must remember that the ANC over time in its existence is an organization that believed that the main problem our country was settled with was national oppression, national domination, and that in order to resolve that problem, it was important that South Africa's black majority, blacks in general and Africans in particular, their conditions of life must be attended to. And today, we're talking now almost 28 years since that project, since we've been on the road to change our country with respect to that main contradiction, that main problem, which largely arose as a result of the deprivation of the suffrage to South Africa's majority black populace. But it is precisely because of the extension of the political rights to everyone in our country that you have changes that indeed have occurred within our communities, within our society, because of those who were previously deprived of these changes today now having access to some of these opportunities that were denied on the basis of race and color. It is a development we're emphasizing to say the ANC has to appreciate that it has had real structural changes within our society. As you would know, research stats tells us that, for instance, a significant development in black communities is that in a period of about a decade, the 10 years between 2003 to 2014, South Africa's black middle class doubled from 7% to 14%. And that today, as we speak, actually, of South Africa's South Africa's middle class in its totality, the black middle class is the majority of that middle class strata in our society. But these changes, of course, they are bringing in dynamics that are affecting the cohesiveness, the support for the ANC within what used to be the main base of ANC support. It's not something to lament about, because it is indeed an achievement of the ANC policies of the last 28 years that we have this doubling of the middle class strata within our society, especially in black communities. But of course, the discussion also flags in the emerging weaknesses, the weakening of our strength around the state, because this balance of forces, we are tracking it along the traditional 5 centers of power in the ANC strategy and tactics. And namely, we're talking about the state. What is our strength, our command of the state as an instrument that we can use for change. It talks to the economy, the interventions in the country's economy to bring about this transformation. It talks also about the human agency, the motive forces, what we refer to in ANC parlance as the motive forces of our struggle, to say what are the organs of civil society that the ANC is acting in unison with in order to still prosecute the transformation of our country. It also speaks to what we refer to as the ideological struggle, the battle of ideas between ourselves and the adversaries of South Africa's transformation, the way the ANC is envisioning it. And lastly, of course, it talks about the balance of forces around global developments, how the change in the balance, or let me say the changes in the global politics, are affecting the ANC's domestic agenda negatively or positively. That's what the discussion is about, and I think that suffices to sketch what the issues are, because I would imagine you have access to the long document on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Comrade Thabang, for that deliberate explanation on what the paper really covered. I'm sure journalists are now ready to pose questions on areas they may seek clarity on. The floor is now open for questions. Okay, you will come in. Comrades, City Press, balance of forces, no, dealing with real issues here. No. Daily, you are covered on balance of forces. Okay, no, you can go ahead. Your name.
The ANC discussed how the black middle class is
Or the first one is not balance of forces, it's credentials. Okay. No, I don't know what is the overall number. When they were presenting us out, is it still, did we get all the delegates we're expecting?
Yes. The credentials indicate that we have the projected numbers according to the plans of the SGO. There are, of course, categories where the delegates are more than what was allocated, a number of those categories. So delegates who are non-voting delegates, they are plus minus about 500, plus minus, but that is an average figure in my recollection of the information as it was shared by the Secretary General. They will be able to provide you with the exact figures. The not voting, but participating delegates representing structures, it's almost triple that number. So we are above 2,000 delegates, most certainly, but of course you'll be aware that this also includes other categories of participants who are here in different roles and responsibilities. Thank you very much.
You can deal with the second question.
Okay. How is South Africa's black middle class, what is its disposition towards the ANC? And what is the ANC's take of that segment of our society? The 2017 Strategy and Tactics document, and I apologize to refer you to that document, which may not be available here with us. But in that document, when we were here 5 years ago, the matter was discussed substantively. And it is in the Strategy and Tactics of 2017 where the ANC makes the point that within its own constituency and its structures, there are tendencies and practices that confirms the presence of alien values in the conduct of ANC members. It talked about, the problem of crass materialism, which was showing signs within the ranks of the ANC. It talks about distance from, the poor or the ordinary masses that was emerging within the organization. So in the strategy and tactics and in this discussion, the negative attributes of the middle class is what is more profiled